Common mistakes when choosing a research topic. I'm just going to take a few minutes to review some of the common mistakes that students make when they're choosing a research topic. The first one being selecting a topic that's not interesting to you. You should try to find some aspect of a topic, of a class, of a project, something that grabs your interests, because this is something that you're going to have to be writing about. You're going to have to be researching, and it should be interesting to you. This is going to be a topic that you're going to be researching perhaps way into the wee hours of the morning, and you're going to have to write things and perhaps argue things. So it should be something that can hold your attention and not something that puts you and your audience to sleep. The next one is choosing a topic that's too general. We talked a little bit about that, choosing a broad topic because it has too many resources is the problem. It's hard to write a well-researched paper in the time and length provided if you have too many resources to go through. So if you tried to write a 5-page paper on Greek civilization, you're going to run into some problems because there's lots of resources, lots of books, lots of articles for you to look at. So in that case, you'd have to narrow your topic. But sometimes people run into the problem where they have too specific a topic. Their topic is too narrow and there aren't enough resources on it, and it makes it difficult to locate the information that you need for your paper. For example, if you're interested in pyrography, which is the means of decorating leather, no matter how fascinating it is to you and how interesting it is to you, if the resources aren't there in this example, you're not going to find a whole lot on pyrography, I'm guessing. It's a random example, but still. You're going to run into some problems when you actually are looking for books and articles to write a 5-page paper. So in that case, you would have to broaden your topic. If you select a topic that is unarguable or unoriginal, that could be really confusing and frustrating and just boring to your audience and to you. This one doesn't come up that often, but an example would be child abuse is wrong. That is a point that is not really argued because it is obvious. It is going to be a pretty boring paper, and it's not going to say anything new, most likely. So make sure that your idea has some originality and is arguable. A lot of times people decide on a topic and they don't give themselves any wiggle room to change their mind. As you're going through the process of selecting a research topic, be sure to give yourself some leniency and some wiggle room to change your mind. If you find a different article that changes the whole trajectory of what you were actually going to research, you've got to be able to change your mind and change your topic if you need to early on. And here's a picture of the wiggles to remind you of that. A lot of times people want to write about very contemporary things that are happening in the news right now, but you've got to keep in mind the information cycle, which we've talked about in another lecture. The information cycle starts with breaking news at the bottom of the pyramid. That's when news is first being created, where information is available through things like social networking, blogging, newspaper articles, things that are very instantaneous. That kind of information is created in the first minutes, hours, and days of an event, where things like magazine articles and more in-depth news reporting usually takes weeks or months for the information to come out and become available for you. So if you're actually writing a paper on something that is very current, happening in the news right now, as of today, a breaking news story, it's going to take a few weeks and perhaps months for the actual information to be available to you to write a full-length paper. So keep the information cycle in mind and revisit the information cycle lecture to learn more about how information actually travels through all the different mediums.